Right, hopefully you can all hear me. Welcome along to round 5 of the Race Spec PlayStation Pacific Open Series Tier 2. We are at the Circuit Paul Ricard in Le Castellet in France. And I am your commentator, Liam, aka kickbuttkiwi, and I am joined by Arthur, aka ardie-chengz. Arthur, how you going?
The one and only? Oh yeah, mate, look. Came for another decent day of racing. I got to see what these boys can, what sort of show they can put on today.
Absolutely, and of course we're coming off some drama last time out in Britain where some key championship contenders were on the receiving end of some interesting luck, I guess you'd call it, at the hands of Codemasters, being forced to retire from the race. We'll talk about that a little bit more shortly as the cars head out onto track. Looks like the weather is dry, so good early signs for qualifying.
Mate, I thought you meant the drama was the borderline Beyonce I had in the background last week, apparently, from the feedback I've been getting.
That was a curveball that we were not expecting, but
not as big of a story.
Not as big of a story. I think some of the guys in the stream quite enjoyed that. So if we can get a repeat performance tonight, that would not go amiss. But we'll see how we go.
I get paid this week, so unfortunately no performance this week, boys.
That's all right. We can't have it every week. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah. Not all of us are on as much coin as kickbuttkiwi, so you know.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. We can't all be earning the big bucks. But look, moving on, we'll talk about the results from last week. I can hear myself echoing. Is there anything that could be causing that at your end that you're aware of?
I'll just have a look at my settings.
I'm not sure if that's coming through the stream, but it's quite clear at my end. So we'll try and get rid of that for the sake of the viewers.
How's that going, mate? I just played around with a bit of this bit out.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Hopefully it has been resolved.
That does sound a lot better, so hopefully that is all good from the viewer.
I know what it was. Yeah, that should be fine. I think I know what it was.
Okay, awesome.
So as you were saying.
Yeah, we're just watching Future Dreamliner on, it's like his first hot lap at the moment. He's out on the mediums. I was just having a quick look at the standings, just so maybe we can go over that and give people a bit of a reminder of where we're at heading into round 5 of 15 of the championship. Arthur, do you have the standings handy? I do have them in front of me myself.
I do. Came prepared.
Excellent.
The man we're riding on board at the moment looks like he's the current championship leader and last week's race winner at Britain, the action-packed Britain. And then we have Mr. Broken Reptile, who was one of the DNFers last week. We mentioned the drama. He is currently in P2. Only about, well, I'll say only, but he is a good 29 seconds back from Dreamliner.
29 points, yeah.
Yeah, Dreamliner sort of run away with it after last week's events, you know, getting the dub, and then everyone else around him just, you know, fallen off and stood as Stephen Bradbury pretty much. Came through right at the end, unexpected, and got the dub. But then, yeah, rounding out the top 3, we've got Mr. Shockwave, who is 30 points from Dreamliner, and only 1 point from Broken Reptile in second, so I can see he just went provisional pole as well, so I'm sure he'll be looking to put in a good performance and get the championship back on track.
Absolutely, yeah. So last week, as you said, Dreamliner won the race, and the remaining 3 of the top 4 in the standings, Broken Reptile, Shockwave and Jackie, all retired from the race, which has allowed Dreamliner to pull out a pretty hefty early lead of 29 points, as you mentioned. I mean, it's a long season, but that result last week was huge for future Dreamliner. After a P12 finish in the previous round in Canada, I believe, he came back with a win, and that has been massive both for his Drivers' Championship chances and also in the Constructors, where I believe Williams are top of the table as it stands.
Indeed. Top, they're currently on 109 points. And then second, oh, that's messy. Sorry, mate, I've just been watching Mr. Future Dreamliner. He's on a hot lap and had a bit of traffic, but it looks like he's coming in now, so all good. But anyway, Haas team in P2 on 98 points. And then Red Bull rounding up the top 3 on 93 with a bit of a
gap
so
back.
It's pretty much a bomb threat back to the Alpine on 77 points. So looks like the Constructors Champions are going to come from one of those three, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that in both the Drivers and the Constructors, there have been some early breakaways. We've got Williams, Haas and Red Bull with the early breakaway, reflecting sort of the Drivers' Championship standings where we have Dreamliner,
Reptile and Wave.
Shockwave and Jackie, probably the 4 standout contenders. Race wins for all but Shockwave of that group. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see today whether Reptile, Shockwave and Jackie can bounce back from what happened last week. Shockwave and Jackie disqualified for passing a safety car. It was a terribly unlucky incident which resulted in their disqualification, and they will be desperate to get back to some good form tonight.
It's good old Cody's.
Yeah. There's always going to be a little bit of Cody's related antics going on through the season, and you've got to take the good with the bad, but getting disqualified through no fault of your own is it's a tough pill to swallow. So sympathies go out to them. But anyway, it's a new round tonight and new opportunities, of course, to right the wrongs and get some good points on the board.
I can see our man, Mr. Honest Crook, down there in P16. We're about halfway through quali and still yet to settle up, so keeping to crookie form, basically. He's probably out doing his best chimney impression at the moment, so not to worry, folks. He'll be back in about, there's 10 minutes left? He'll be back in about 9.5 minutes.
9.5 minutes to set a time and finish P2 in quali, so.
Yeah, just keeping the form.
Yeah, pretty standard from Honest Crook, who I believe has just got a full-time race seat after being a reserve. I could be wrong about that, but moving up the world is Honest Crook.
Speak of the devil, he's broken his world record. He's out with about 9 minutes to go.
I see, getting early for once, which is good.
That's pretty early for Crook, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, we'll see what sort of times he can set. He might be a bit of a dark horse if he can get his quali runs together instead of just leaving it all to do in the race. But I doubt he'll be. I hope he will be up there with the top 2 currently in the low 30s. It looks to be out on softs as well. But another one to watch out for is the Tonkster or Tonky. He's yet to settle up as well, down there in P18.
Yeah, I've actually got some statistics in front of me here. My laptop is not cooperating at all, so I'm going to try and just get it in front of me. But laptop is having a complete aneurysm. But what my statistics told me was that El Tonki, I believe, is the highest average position gainer from quali to the race so far this season. I think he's averaging about 9 places gained per race. So
let's have a look.
Yeah, so possibly not qualifying particularly well, but he's staying in the mix in the races, keeping it clean and bringing home some solid points finishes as Shockwave dips into the 129s and promptly cuts most of the circuit. Interesting tactic. I don't think that's allowed, I have to say. I believe that's specifically, possibly in the rules, say that you can't cut the circuit. I know it's tempting in France here at Paul Ricard. It's a track that it's just asking for corner cuts at almost every corner. Yep. No, we're kind of used to this in this tier as... Yeah, no, Shockwave forgets that there's a chicane down the back straight.
I hope Sturdy's on the lap, because that would have been distracting with this guy behind him as well.
Yeah, Sturdy's on an out lap. A couple of other things to mention as we work our way through quali now. Clarence and Braden in the Alpha and the Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri respectively both got their first podiums last week. They were both very, very happy to tick that off in their achievements, as I believe Future Dreamline is just on P2. Another driver to keep an eye out for, delayed in the Ferrari. He's in the pits at the moment, but he, I believe, has one of the worst records in terms of quali to race performance on the grid. He's averaging the loss of a fair few positions, so I think he's a decent qualifier. I believe his best qualifying is P2, but he's yet to really convert that into a good race result. So keep an eye on him. We'll see how well he can qualify and whether he can convert that into a good points finish in the race. Thomas Crook in the Haas up in P5 currently. He may be on another hot lap, heading down the Mistral Straight towards the chicane. Hard on the brakes, kissing the apex on the left-hander, and the curve on the right, using all of the circuit and trying to carry the most speed onto this next segment of the Mistral Straight. Heading towards the sweeping right-hander, which is full throttle again, grazing the curve on the left and on the right, and then heading down into this long, long right-hander where the apex just never seems to come, but looks very tidy from Otis Crook here as our Tonki gets out of the way nicely. Now in the final sector for the Haas driver. 2 corners to go. Left-hander. And, oh, goodness me, no, he's had enough. Maybe he was down on his delta and thought, no, I'm not wasting the tyres. I'll come back into the pits and have another crack at it. 5 minutes to go, so definitely time. I can hear myself echoing again. I don't know why that is, but we shall carry on. Any tech ideas at your end, Arthur, as to why I'm echoing? Does sound like Arthur has died, regrettably. Rest in peace, Ardie. Carry on with quali. Clarence P4 in the Alfa Romeo. Looking to back up that podium finish last week at Silverstone. Bring up the spectator menu for the first time in the session, so that's helpful. Too many cars on track at the moment, but it's sort of that time in the session where cars are in the pits preparing for a final run. You can probably expect cars to come out in the next 30 seconds to a minute or so. Yellow's of course coming out for slowing down as Clarence comes into the pits. He should just about have enough time to change tyres and come out again. Very few cars on the track at the moment, and great timing going to Dan the Racer. Boys, if you do watch the stream later after the race, maybe consider not cutting the track. Just a suggestion. Yeah, a little bit naughty. You should be leaving enough time to get back to the pits on your own lap. board with Heisenberg in the second Alfa Romeo. Heisenberg is a reserve, I believe, tonight, so a bit of an unknown quantity. We'll see what he can do. Currently down in P16 with a 1:31.4, around about a second and a half off best time so far. Looks like a reasonably tidy lap. No idea what good sector times are, but heading down the Mistral Straight, turning on DRS. Plenty of free track in front of him. See how tidy he is through this section, taking a decent amount of curb. Tidy through the chicane and onto the exit. The Shockwave, I believe, has retired. Interesting. I believe he's retired in the pit, so possibly a tactical decision from Shockwave. Thinking maybe he's done enough on a 29.9, only a tenth in front of Future Dreamliner, who's on an outlap. Will remain with Heisenberg now as he comes through to finish his lap. Just a little bit wide of the apex, so we're possibly not carrying the full amount of speed. See how he does his final couple of corners. Nice and tidy there. Looking the right-hander, and then a good exit on the traction. DRS activated, coming across the line. He'll stay towards the left. And what can Heisenberg do? He does a 31.9, so did not improve on his best. Is he going to go again? We'll wait and see, but maybe have a look at some other drivers as well. Ooh. That might have been a corner cut for Reedy, and he looks like he's made a hash of that. So, yep, he's off the power. He's boarding that lap. Dreamliner's on a quick one. Minute to go in quali, so not quite enough time for Dreamliner to do another one after this. So this will be his final crack at pole position. Back straight.
Here, we're back.
And Arthur's back.
We're back, mate.
What happened?
Oh, just the technical difficulties. Nothing too flash.
Australian internet, I know. Oh, Dreamliner, no, that's a corner cut, surely.
It's pulled out.
And he's backed out, yeah, so our focus goes to Jackie Perez, who's not far behind, and oh, that's a chunk of curb as well. Is he corner cut also?
Yeah, it's corner cut as well, yep.
How do you know?
Down the bottom line, mate, the full track, when it goes red, that's when it is a corner cut.
See, I see. So Jackie is not going to have time to go again. Asher and the McLaren are sitting P4. That's happened sort of outside my sight, and yeah, Asher's on a flyer. This would be his, I think it would be easily his best qualifying position of the year, so we'll keep an eye on him. Delayed crosses the line, only P8, so loads of curb, but he's still going. Wide. And no, he's backed out, so Asher's had enough. Reptile, slow. Goodwill is he on the fly?
He is, I believe.
He's not particularly quick down the straight, and he's low on ERS. I don't know if he's
Braden, and he's coming to the final corner now. Let's see what he can do. Oh, he's invalidated. Apologies.
Braden won't improve either.
A lot of invalidations here.
Indeed, I mean it's an easy track to corner cut on. Reptile retires in the pits, that's all good. So Goodwill coming through the final sector. A few guys coming across the line actually, so someone might improve. Just out of our camera.
Just got Clarence about to cross the line. He's down and currently in P10. What does he do? He goes and does P4. Okay.
P4, Goodwill. What can Goodwill do?
Goodwill.
P7 only.
7. Delayed, I believe, is next. Should get a bit of toe.
Delayed's. I think Delayed's finished. He's got the chicken flag icon, so I don't think he can.
Wow, looks like done. That's the field.
Yeah, so here we go.
Well,
3 of the usual suspects occupy the top 3 positions. Shockwave gets pole position by just under a tenth from Future Dreamliner. Jackie Perez in P3, so 3 of the big names up there. Clarence P4 in the Alfa Romeo. He was on the podium last time out, so he's looking to build on that good result. And Broken Reptile, who's in the top 4 in the championship somewhere, he is a little bit further down there in P6, but well within reach. Looking down the order, Braden P8 in the Alpha Tauri after that podium as well last week. Delayed P10, maybe a slightly disappointing quali from him. He's qualified on the front row previously, so not the best from the Ferrari man. Honest Crook P12, someone that you'd think might have a little bit more pace than that, but we'll see how he goes in the race. And then looking down the order, I won't go through all of them, but Stobie P15. Is Stobie P5 in the championship? I think he might be.
He is indeed, yes.
Yeah, so that's not a great qualifying from the man in the Aston Martin. And then there's Reedy and El Tonki down the bottom of the order, who are known for working their way through the field quite nicely during the race. So we will see what the weather does in the race. I don't think we've had... Have we had any rain yet this season? I don't believe we have.
Trying to remember through. I don't think we had any in Portugal. I missed China, so I'm not too sure there. Do you remember China?
I loosely remember China. I just feel like if we've had any rain, it's been relatively little.
Yeah.
That's where people come in the chat and say, 3 of the 4 races were rain. Look, I'm getting old, okay? I'm getting old. Yeah. Honest Crook in the chat asking us to be nice to him. I think that'll be dependent on how well you race, Mr. Crook.
I feel like that's he needs to be focusing on racing instead of what the commentators are saying, in my opinion.
Exactly, yep. Race is not won in the YouTube live chat, as a wise man once said. So, yep, Honest Crook will, I'm sure, pop out of the live chat and head out onto his balcony for a smoke, and then jump back onto the grid at the last possible second. But yeah, looks like it's dry. They can change quickly, of course, but blue skies overhead as Shockwave leads us around on the formation lap in the Red Bull. Dreamliner P2 in the Williams, Jackie Perez P3 in the Alpine, Clarence P4 in the Alfa Romeo, and Asher with an excellent qualifying up there in P5. I believe Asher mentioned after a previous race that possibly his son watches the races on occasion, so if that's the case, and I'm not completely imagining things, g'day to Mini Asher if you are watching. Reptile on P6, the number 1 driver for Haas. Yeah. Unsure what the strategy will be today. We'll bring up the tyres that people are starting on.
Well, I had a look at the that graphic that came up just at the start of this session. It looked like it's a 2-stopper for both, either a soft medium or a soft medium. So according to the simulations, it looks like it's going to be a 2-stopper, but let's have a look at who's starting on mediums, because, you know, who knows, they might try and see if they can go for the 1 stop onto the hards. We can see El Tonk down there, who does come through the field usually. Yep. He's on the hards, only man on hards.
I do
but
love
it looks like the remainder of the top, or the bottom 11, sorry, from Allura and Fire Sky, they're all down on mediums, so yeah, I feel like the harder tyre will be the tyre to be on here.
I think so. I mean, I'm always a fan of the 1 stop, but we'll see how it plays out. So we'll keep an eye on the guys who start from P11 down as to what they do. But the cars all line up on the grid. Shockwave.
I believe that's everyone now.
Sitting there nervously. The lights come on. 5 red lights, and we are racing in France. It's a good start from Shockwave. It looks like someone on the front row was a bit slow, possibly Dreamliner. Jackie Perez down the inside. Can he take P2? Maybe not. Shockwave holds the position. Jackie maintains P3. Wee bit of movement down the field, but it looks pretty tidy. Oh, as Asher and Goodwill go side by side, there was a bit of something bouncing away, whether it was a bollard or a piece of front wing, I'm not too sure, but Goodwill moves up to P5 in the Red Bull. Asher down to P6, Glorious Noodle P7. Look at the position change early on, see what I've missed.
Looks like down the race, so he had a moment at 29. He looks to be the biggest loser out of...
He's off the back. Tonki on the... Is he on the hard tyres?
He's on the hard, he's already on the charge.
He's made about 3 or 4 positions as he jostles with Stobie.
Oh,
goodness.
Whoa, that was a very scary moment there by El Tonki. It looked like he was off into the barrier from my ankle, but it looks like he kept it. But he will lose a position or 2. Ooh, I believe. Oh, that was hairy stuff.
Toto and Reedy going around the outside of El Tonki at the right-hander. Oh, goodness me, leave each other room, boys, please. So El Tonki loses all those positions that he gained early on. Anyway, back at the front. Shockwave leads by about 3/4 of a second from Dreamliner. Jackie Prez P3. Goodwill P4 all the way up from P7, so a great start for the second Red Bull man. Clarence sitting P5, he's lost 1 position. Glorious Noodles up 3. In P6, he's got his teammate Asher for company, who's dropped a couple of spots, now P7. Broken Reptile, not a great start from him, P8. Delayed, P9 in the Ferrari, and rounding out the top 10 is Braden, who's lost a couple of spots as well. Oh, goodness me, McLaren getting all over the show. That's Asher. Looking a little bit ragged. He's going to struggle with Broken Reptile in his slipstream.
Broken Reptile's got to run here, I think.
He does.
He'll be right underneath his rear wing. Does he go for a move?
He's on the ERS. Surely you go for a dive bomb here. You've got to get it right, though. Do they leave each other room? They do. Just about. Oh, look out.
Asher's round.
No, not enough
Asher's
room.
round.
Asher's round. It's hard to know who was at fault there, but Asher spins. No. And after an excellent qualifying, Asher's all the way down in P17. I just hope he doesn't have damage. Oh goodness, the 3 wide. And someone else has spun down the races round.
That's reset, unfortunately. Oh, Dan. Naughty.
Far from the worst thing I've seen, but also not the best.
But yeah, the predicted strategy, which is popping up now, says lap 5 to 7 for the soft runners, and then about lap 10 for the medium.
Okay.
So Asher does not pit, so it looks like it must have just been a moment where he did a 360 and looks like he's cooled his tyres and he's back on track.
So he'll be probably hoping for a safety car to revive his chances, unfortunately.
And he's on the softs as well,
so he doesn't have a lot of flexibility strategy-wise, as we have yellow flags. Oh, goodness me. Lauren. I think Lauren's had a spin.
Williams not having a good day today.
Yeah. Dreamliner's in P2.
Dreamliner in P2, apologies.
Yep.
Down the race on the Alpine was the Williams.
So Lauren drops down to P17. And the race starting to just settle down a little bit. Oh, gee. Oh, boys. Oh, and Honest Crook has... and he's... I don't want to say he's taken out Heisenberg, but there was contact, and Heisenberg has ended up in the barrier and DNF.
I only saw a wheel getting loose as I was going on board, so I kind of missed the impact, just the aftermath of that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll be a safety. Oh, Reedy's an AI, and Dan the Racer went straight back into the back of him. There's all sorts going on here.
All sorts of things happening.
It's gone around the outside.
Oh, it's not going to end well.
Reedy's still an AI. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, the technical difficulties on his end, I guess.
Yeah. Not too sure. I mean, it's a track that you can race people at, but because a lot of the corners are high speed and mean, you've got to be a little bit careful. You've got to leave room. And if you don't, even a little bit of wheel banging can send one car absolutely steering off the barrier.
A lot of runoff, but if you get it wrong, you know, those barriers can come at you at a rate of knots really quickly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Dreamliner gets a 3-second penalty very early on.
Crook, what are you doing? All I saw was him going off the road as I was flicking through the cars. And I believe he just got a pen for having to cut the corner.
He got a 5-second penalty. That's a little bit...
don't know if he was trying to avoid the car ahead or what happened. All I saw was him cutting across, I believe, it was what, turn 8?
I wouldn't have a clue.
I'm not too sure what happened there, mate. But
he's
having quite the lively race, Crook.
He is.
Right in there.
And
as
Clarence
one of the leaders is in.
has left the session. Is that a disconnect issue? I think it might be. He's ghosting. He's still on track.
Yes, because he hasn't been it.
So hopefully he can get that sorted.
And he is quite high. He's up in P5, so I hope he doesn't lose too much. Mate, it's all going on.
A few drives are padding down the order. Glorious Noodle, Benchwarmer and Asher, both McLarens, trying the old double stop. Double stack technique, potentially. Yeah, so very, very early stops for them. Thomas Crook making friends with other drivers and the stewards. Audi fits P10.
That's another thing with this track. The penalties might come down to penalties in the end because you know, lots of runoff space, but also lots of space to cut corners and track extend and what have you, so gotta keep an eye on those pens.
You simply do. I mean, getting penalties 5 laps in, it puts you on something of a back foot, I would say. So we'll see if it comes back to bite Dreamliner. He does have Jackie Perez for company now as well. Jackie's within half a second. Dreamliner does not have DRS to the car in front, and oh, here we go, early. Gee, early. Oh, goodness me, as Dreamliner got a 5-second pen for speeding, but Jackie ran into the back of him. Is that why Dreamliner got a pen? Did Jackie push him across? So. It's happened before.
It's happened to me, mate.
Wow.
It's happened to me.
Post-race stewards might have a bit of work to do here, as they often do. But they both
a bunch of them in the pits.
So Dreamliner...
It's like the soft runners, they can't take it past lap 6. They're all in. Apart from Shockwave, literally every single car is in on lap 6 as we get yellows.
Oh, goodness me. Oh, Altonki and Dreamliner have collided at turn 1. Oh no, and Dreamliner is making Crook look like a saint at the moment. Goodness gracious me. Did Dreamliner serve a 5-second pen in the pit?
I don't believe so. If it happens immediately, I think it's on the next. Or Dan. Oh, Dan, the race with a big moment. There's Jackie Price through. He's going to have a dive at Dreamliner, will he? Under braking.
Oh, I don't like this at all. At all, and it's a little bit predictable. Someone's going to end up on the, on the barrier. Dreamliner holds the position. He tries to cover the inside, but Jackie says, I'll have some of that. And can they keep it clean through the right-hander? Oh, Dreamliner needs to possibly concede, and he does, but he's got, who's that, Dan, the racer for company right behind him. Oh, don't stick your nose in there, Dan. So Jackie takes P6. That was an important move for him to clear Dreamliner, who's now got a 5-second pen. Interesting stuff. Shockwave in the pits now. So will Jackie jump Shockwave?
I think he will.
Straight. Almost certainly will, although...
I think he will, yeah.
Oh no, Jackie, unless he had a slow stop, because Jackie's out of the pits, Shockwave's out of the pits already. And Shockwave is easily...
Wow. I thought he had pulled into
the lead.
In the pit bay when I went on board there. Maybe old mate Jackie was in a bit of bit of traffic and a bit of argy-bargy, and that's allowed... Surely the undercut usually is the faster of the two, but then again, it might be worth knowing what the gap was between them before the pits.
It's hard to keep track of. Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, Stovey and Honest Crook have not pitted. Stovey's just passed Honest Crook for the lead.
It's all going off here now.
It's all going off.
It's hard to know where to look.
It is.
Everywhere you look, there's either pens, corner cuts, contact,
crashes. Yep, it's all happening. But yeah, effective race leader is Shockwave, sitting in P4 currently. And then we've got Jackie and Future Dreamliner rounding out the effective top three. But these medium runners will stay out for a while longer. I imagine until at least, what, like 8 to 10?
Yeah, that strategy said, I believe it was lap 10. Which does not bode well for the mediums if they're only over the last 10 laps. So I doubt... I mean, it may be worth just keeping an eye on Tonki, see how long he goes for. He's the only man on the hard tire to start off with, but he's all the way down up to P13 now. He was in about 16th just before.
As we're talking, Future Dreamliner's come into the pits for his second stop in 2 laps. He served his 5-second pen, he's getting a new front wing. Did he sustain damage on that lap, I wonder? He's putting on hard tyres, so maybe there's been something that's happened.
Could have been with that tangle he had with... Oh no, Asher and Reedy's Ghost. Reedy's still an AI, what is going on there? Asher was trying to go around the outside and just have the weirdest of lines into one of the right-handers. He was right on the inside and was just able to sneak through. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on with Reedy. He's still AI.
Yeah. So Dreamliner, his race has really gone south, unfortunately. He's now the last of the drivers remaining in the race. He's on fresh hard, so he maybe was looking to go to the end. But
yeah, it's his only hope at this point.
Yeah.
Including safety car. And let's not forget he is the current championship leader, so he's had some good fortune last week when all his rivals were dropping like flies. Is this his week to have some bad luck?
Yep, may well be. Long way to go. But a decent opportunity here for likes of Shockwave, Jackie and Broken Reptile to make serious inroads into Dreamliner's championship lead. On lap 9 currently, and the field is reasonably mixed up, especially at the top of the order where a number of drivers on mediums have not yet made their first pit stop. Chief among them are Stovey and Honest Crook, P1 and 2. And then there's someone calls Yellows. Who's that? Is that Dreamliner? It is. Dreamliner's spun. Oh, dearie me. Gee, I tell you, he's mercurial as old Dreamliner. When things are going well for him, they go well, but when he's having a bad race, he likes to make it a really bad one.
Honest Crook in a big moment. Onto the curb. Had to correct it, now he's out of DRS.
Honest Crook getting a little bit wild and ragged on board now with Jackie Perez in P6. He's on fresh mediums and right on the tail of Aloran and Toto, neither of whom have made their... Ooh, Aloran.
Big moment.
Rear end stepping out like there's no one's business. That'll be a pretty regulation move for Jackie, and he looks at Toto and wisely decides there's no need to force it there.
Definitely no way through there.
He'll get much better traction out of virtually every corner, so he might have a look down into turn whatever the heck this is, and he does go deeper on the brakes and makes it stick for P4, so he's cleared the traffic, so to speak, and now he can set about trying to reel in Shockwave, who now has gapped Jackie by 4.7 seconds already. Goes to show the benefit of having some clear air.
That's what traffic does, man.
Indeed. As Lauren and Toto exchange positions.
It does go to say Jackie Prez was one of the guys that has already stopped. With the likes of Aloran, they're on old mediums. Aloran, Stoby, Crook, Toto, and I believe Dan the Racer in the top 10 are all on old mediums. So it's a bit out of sequence here as Honest Crook comes into the pits. It'll be good to see where everyone sort of fans out after all the pits. Especially with the high tyre wear here at in France.
It can be a little bit hard to keep track of sometimes. Honest Crook in the pits. As is Toto. So we've lasted 10 laps on the mediums. And Crook is on hards, Toto is on hards as well, so maybe the one stop.
Yeah, they're going for one stop.
Keep an eye on them. Most of the field a little bit spread out at the moment.
The fight for P5 is a bit spicy here, P6. They're a little bit close, it looks like, out of the whole field.
Glorious Noodles on 4-lap pressure mediums. Oh, had to back out of that one. Might have got a corner cutting warning. Just misjudged it a little bit down the race, so a little bit slow on those older tyres. Maybe just catching the McLaren man out slightly. And Dan's low on ERS, as is Glorious Noodle. Oh, goodness me, that makes me... Oh, and there's contact. That was very unnecessary. Glorious Noodle tagging the back of Dan, and then trying to get out of the way of cars behind, but he drops down a few positions. McLaren's woes go from bad to worse. G'day to everyone watching in the chat at the moment. Happy to give shout outs for anyone who wants to put a little comment in there.
I thought you were about to say anyone who wants to give a donation to the bank account, mate. I thought that was
that is also welcome, but as you mentioned before, with the coin I'm on, donations would be like a drop in the ocean, so maybe...
I don't get too much coin.
No. You could donate to a more worthy cause. Oh, goodness me, and that is the end of Glorious Noodle. I was on board. He's binned it coming out of turn 2, and that is a VSC. Okay. Now, is anyone going to go for the pit stop here? Is anyone near the pit?
Car. Full safety.
Oh, full safety car. Oh, that is brilliant news for the likes of Stoby.
Dreamline as well.
Aloran, yeah, Dreamline. Guys down the back of the field will be licking their lips, but Stoby, Aloran, Dan the Racer, 3 guys in the top 6 who have not stopped. They'll get a cheap pit stop here. And I would hazard a guess that actually most of the field might pit for new mediums. Actually, that's something I'd be looking to do.
I mean,
you'll get to the end on mediums from here.
50 laps. Well, by the time the safety car's out,
it'll be about 12.
Back in, it'll be about 12, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so
lighter fuel, I think, yeah, it makes sense.
It's a no-brainer. Yeah, no-brainer.
Whether or not some go to hards, I'm not too sure, but definitely, I reckon it's worth the pit.
No, you go mediums if you can go mediums, but of course the guys who are on mediums already, they can't finish on the mediums. They'll have to go, I mean, what would you do?
You have to go hards. You have to.
Yeah, I mean...
So far, literally, the top 7, 8, 9, 10, everyone's pitting. Oh, apart from Clarence on fresh, not so fresh softs.
Clarence, you've got to pit.
He's on softs, 6-lap-old softs, and he stays out.
Clarence is... Wait, no, he isn't. He's coming to the pits.
Wait, what is going on?
He's teleported into the pits.
Well, yeah, on my screen, he went through the finish line, but okay, it looks like it's fixed it up. Everyone, literally every single person in the field has pitted.
That might be an old pen. Yeah, so a number of drivers on hards, but then there are guys on mediums who...
Future staying out on his 4-lap hold hards. He might jump a few positions here in the pits.
I don't know why you would. If I... Oh, jeez. Tell you what I would do if I was Dreamliner. I would stay out on track on these mediums, on these hards rather, and then wait a couple of laps and then put the mediums on. Which would filter you to the back of the pack, of course, but it would mean that you would have 2 lap pressure mediums.
You might as well have to put on softs there.
You almost going to wait a couple of laps, actually.
If you're going to wait a couple of laps, might as well put on the softs.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad shot.
Purple, at least you get an extra point, and then just see where you end up in the end, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I was about to say he's got nothing to lose at this point, considering how low he was, but he is the current title leader. We do have to remind you.
He is. I mean, he's got 9 seconds of pins. Gee.
But remember, one of those was the that push from the back that might be disputed. Unfortunately for him, though, I don't know if he can dispute it if he's already served that pen.
No, he can't. He's served it, so he's got 3 seconds of 3 lots of corner cutting pins. Yeah. Which goes to show that even when you're having a bad race, if you can just avoid penalties, a safety car just about any point will potentially save your race. So he's right up against it now with those pins, but you never know. And if he does put on fresh tyres in a couple of laps, like we're imploring him to do in the commentary box, because we always know what's best, he might be in with a chance, because he'll carve through the field on softs. He'll need to look after them a little bit, but
he'll be all nicely bunched up as well.
Yeah. Whereas if he
stays the hards or mediums,
I mean, if he stays out on hards and does not put on a safety car, he is completely screwing his race as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, so far he's not.
Yeah, but he's on much harder and older tyres than everyone around him, so he's just making life a lot more difficult for himself than he needs to. It'd be better to lose a bit of track position, in my humble opinion. But yeah, we'll see how we go. He is the championship leader, so not all of us can say that we're championship leaders.
Something stuck in your throat there, mate?
Stuck in my throat there, gee.
Oh,
Tier 2 championship leader. Not for much longer. But yeah. Anyway. So, a few penalties through the field. Jackie's got 8 seconds, Dan the Race 6, Asher 3, Dreamliner 9, and then Benchwarmer and Reedy on 3 seconds.
Be interesting to see how many are in their final warnings, because although, you know, we've got, what is it, just under half the field has at least 1 pen, how many of them are literally towing the line right now and can't afford one more? So I think there would be a few in there. There's a lot of places to corner cut here. If you can go through the whole race without even 1 pen, I think that's to be commended, really, because it's so easy to, you know, lose concentration race over a 27 lap race. It's just so easy to do. So.
Yeah, 1 little lapse and you're off. Yeah, and all your hard work's down the toilet. So yeah, it's about keeping it clean, but also being quick. Safety car is in this lap, so Stobie will be just backing up the field. Safety car is in the pit lane, so Stobie can hit the gas at any point. He'll probably do it just out of the final corner, I'd say.
Shockwave can stay with him. Oh no!
It's leaving it late, and there he goes.
Oh, there he goes. There's a car parked
and
behind him.
Oh,
Shockwave did get the run though. He was wiser to that move.
Shockwave, is he going to go around the outside? Oh, wheel banging, and Shockwave pulls it off on the medians. That's a vital move, as also Jackie
goes for a little sniff as well.
And makes it stick, does he? Oh, he does. Another crucial move. Jackie's got a lot of pens, but...
Well.
He cleared Stobie.
P1 to P3 in the space of about 3 corners. That is not a good restart for Mr. Stobie.
That's the hard tyres for you.
sitting duck, really.
Yeah. I noticed the Dreamliner has not pitted under safety car. Interesting move.
Yeah, for another one.
Yeah. Not sure what he's up to there, but anyway. Top 3 making a little breakaway early on. Shockwave is already 1.4 ahead of Jackie.
And the race with Lauren. Round the outside.
Oh, goodness me. Oh, there's an AlphaTauri getting in the mix. Braden. Oh. Delayed. He's going to bomb Braden. And makes the move stick. God, he runs deep though. Oh, look out. Oh, that's not going to end well. And Goodwill.
Tyres. Oh, no.
Goodwill forced his way through. Oh, contact between Braden and Clarence. The podium getters from last week.
This is going to end in tears.
Someone's going to end up crying. There's a traffic jam back there. Look at the mini-map. Top 4 are bolted, and then from P5 down, it's just mayhem.
I mean, considering how many positions were being swapped and wheels were being banged out of all that, they seem to have all made it out of there unscathed.
Yeah, it's surprising actually.
So, well done, mates.
Yeah, I've seen worse. I've seen better too, but I've seen worse.
Oh, honest. Oh. Makes contact, I believe, with Dreamliner and has a moment.
Let's get our Tonky
under
to come
pressure. Yeah, he's under pressure with the Tonk stuff. That's an easy move, that.
Taking candy from a baby for our Tonky. Script back down P14. Now having to defend from other guys behind.
This is where it gets hairy. Sector 3. So far so good though.
Oh no! Benchwarmer looking at on the crook. Almost spinning himself. Oh goodness me. Easy on the brakes. Honest Crook on the curb, and Benchwarmer says, I'll have some of that. Honest Crook tries to spook him into... Oh, goodness me, Toto!
Oh, nearly lost a wing. Nearly lost a wing. What's happening?
Tonky takes Dreamliner, I think. As usual, I barely know where to look. Big train of cars currently behind Lauren. Still behind Lauren. Hard work this commentary, Lark, I tell you. It's all going off. Pretty much just watch the deltas and look for the little gaps. That's the secret. Yeah, Daniel Racer. Daniel Racer on DRS and golfers up Lauren down the Mistral Straight. And Lauren's going to have to defend from a very feisty looking Goodwill, who will be on the ERS, and he is, as is Lauren.
Cut back.
No, you're not going to pass through there in all likelihood. Someone goes wide.
Barrett's on delay.
Ooh. We're starting to see the medium runners making a little bit of progress as Dan the Racer spins out of somewhere in the top 10. I think he was
up there.
He was up there and drops all the way down to 14th place as almost Crook Reedy hit. I can only assume there's damage, surely.
Has to be for softs, surely, as well. This late. 9 laps to go.
Reedy's put mediums on. And Crook's putting on. Oh no. Boys, why are you doing this?
9 laps to go.
We do apologise if there are things we're missing, but there's nothing about
Unless
that
he's
that
out
seems
of
logical.
tyres.
Well, yeah,
but then again, he's only pitted, what, twice?
To be out of,
how can you be out
to
of
be out of
tyres?
tyres, you'd have to have been extremely reckless and irresponsible during quali, like burning through your sets and then burning through your... Yeah, no.
I don't think that's a problem for Crook then.
Maybe it's just too easy on softs. Maybe they're trying to challenge themselves.
Yes,
We know Honest Crook has got a bit of a big head, so... anyway.
At least he's honest.
He's an honest Crook. He is.
Yes, he's honest.
Back on board with Goodwill. P6 chasing down Lauren. They're both on... actually, no. Take that back. Lauren's on hards, so Goodwill...
Braden's all over the road here. I don't know if that's just ghosting or... at the moment, but it looks like Dreamliner's finally gone past him.
Dreamliner's making progress on those hards. I don't...
Yeah, he's slowly recovering here. It was looking quite grim there for a while, down in last place.
Yeah.
Then that safety car. Still early days, but, you know, so far so good for him. It's a decent little recovery run for him here. I hope I didn't just put the knockers on him. Commentator's curse, but, because we do have to remember, he does have those penalties, and if he has already served that 5 seconds that he could have appealed, those 9 seconds would be all legitimate penalties, so yeah, just have to wait and see where he ends up.
Yes, indeed. Goodwill finally clears the Lauren for P5. That's what we've said about trying to bridge the gap to Broken Reptile. Yeah, as I mentioned before, I think the hard tyre runners are struggling. They might come into the game again in the last few laps when the mediums are starting to wear, but Dreamliner's got another 10.
Up to 12 seconds.
And I mean, that's another... Oh, goodness me. The other issue with being on worn tyres is that to keep up with the cars around you, you have to absolutely push. You know, wearing your tyres out more, pushing track limits, it's just an issue that compounds itself. So, yeah, Dreamliner's got his work cut out for him. On board now with Delayed, who's quietly going about his work in P7. He's got a pace advantage on a Lauren, who is managing to just about stay within DRS range of Goodwill in front, although he's slipped out of that. I'm not sure where's the texture points right here, so I think the Lauren will not have DRS. Delayed right in under his gearbox, and he will swoop past the Williams, giving him enough room. Yep. Makes the move stack, so Lauren back down to P7. And he'll be next on Clarence's menu. Clarence might even try to get him here if he can. He's on DRS, so what little he has left of it.
They're both really low.
Yeah. Most drivers will be low. I believe Jackie's traditionally been pretty good on it. Jackie's got 50% left. Reptile's got a wee bit of ERS left. Apart from that, a lot of drivers are very, very low, especially if you work down the order, and Clarence is left again. More internet issues, I assume. And Dreamliner's pitting. Yep. Turned down the chance to pit on the safety car, and he's changing his wing. Tell you what, he's going to need to sort out his consistency if he wants to win the championship. He's got the pace, but he's been a little bit all over the shop here in France, unfortunately. He'll probably set a fastest lap, but he'll be, look at that, he's 25 seconds behind P14 with 6 laps to go, so not looking good for the Williams. And back at the front of the pack, Shockwave leading in the Red Bull with no pens. He leads by 1.7 over Jackie, who has now 11 seconds of penalties. So Jackie is struggle to finish on the podium at this rate.
I believe. So I'm just looking through the pens, and it looks like Shockwave has only had 2 warnings on lap 17 and 18. And Jackie's got a couple pens. Stoby, 2 warnings as well, back on lap 3 and 4. Broken Reptile is yet to get a single warning.
Reedy's DNF'd at a very unusual position down the back straight. And that's a safety car. Oh my goodness me.
Wow. Future Dreamliner then.
Back in business, albeit with his mountain of
Brings
pens.
him in. I mean, it does bring him back in, but he will have to stick to a Delta at the moment, so
Well,
he will be at the back of the pack, really.
again, yeah, so anyway.
So, and we're pens. Will be what?
Yeah.
3 laps to go at the end. I don't know how many positions he's going to gain with, what is it, 12 seconds worth of pens with 3 laps to go. Bunched up field. It's not looking good.
Yeah, so almost Crooks in the pits.
He had
Interesting
to.
move.
He was on hards, remember?
Yeah.
Pitted for hards with 9 laps to go.
If he doesn't go softs, I'm yep, right, good.
He was touch and go there for a sec.
Crooks the kind of,
you never know.
He's the kind of guy to put inters on, to be honest.
He's an enigma, that guy.
He is. Still haven't figured him out,
Bit of
but
an enigma.
we do love our Crook, but he does his own thing sometimes.
It'd be interesting to see who goes for track position and who goes for fresh tyres.
Well, I think the medium runners.
If I was Shockwave stays out.
And Shockwave's got the track position, so he really needs to stay out.
He doesn't have to.
Oh, here we go. Jackie's pitted. Here we go. So Shockwave versus Jackie Prez. Jackie will come out on fresh softs, and Jackie will be hoping that as many behind him as possible come into the pits too. Who has pitted? Oh, some are. Here we go.
Looks like a bit split here.
Broken Reptile. If you're on a medium, 9-lap-old medium, I'd be looking at softs, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then the hards are going to be just... Oh, bread and butter. They're going to just stand no chance for these fresh softs.
There's quite a few coming in here, actually.
Yep. And Jackie comes out only in P8. Tell you what. Oh.
I mean, I guess most of the field was on either hards or mediums. You know, 9, 10-lap-old hards or mediums. So I guess
yeah,
a lot of them just thought it was a no-brainer. But I mean, the race is not over. Certainly not over.
very true.
That top 7 hasn't pitted. So it's Jackie Prez, the leader of all the pitters, for that 3-lap dash to the end. What will be a 3-lap dash to the end. And the safety car comes in a lap's time.
Is Honest Crook pitting again?
What is going on?
He could have stayed out and then just pitted late. If he's going to be at the back of the pack anyway, you just join the back of the queue and then pit as late as possible. Surely. Is that him in the pits?
He's put on heat. Oh my god.
What's he?
5 stops.
Crook. The
and
5
he just put
stopper.
on mediums.
I mean, the 5 stopper on the odd occasion has worked. When I say the odd occasion, I mean 1 in 1,000 races.
Oh no.
He's putting on a clinic today.
Like, unless there's something we do not know, which is the only explanation I can think of for why you'd put on... You get off a fresh set of softs to put on medium tyres with 3 laps to go.
I'm calling it now. He thought, he's like, I've got nothing to lose. I'm coming in for another set of softs, and Jeff's put him on mediums. That's what I reckon has happened. But even so, like, as I said, there was no need to make those 2 stops.
Like, unless he had a moment and, tag the back of someone. I don't know.
Honestly, what are we doing here? Racing or ping pong? As Sebastian once said. And he's put on old mediums. Oh my gosh. They're not even fresh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I've aged commentating this race, I tell you. And not just like in a couple of hours, I mean a couple of months at least.
He's either a genius or
the opposite.
The opposite of the geniuses.
I'm leaning towards the latter.
That's just... I'm speechless, mate.
I could find words, but I'm holding my tongue.
Speechless.
Yeah, so, I mean, what have we got to watch here? Penalties aside, Jackie Perez is going to have... Is he going to have 3 laps to try to catch up Shockwave? I feel like... My personal guess is that it's not going to be enough. I don't think there's enough time.
Especially with 6 seconds. Yeah, he's got 6 seconds as well, we got to remember.
Oh, yeah, he yeah.
So, I doubt he clears him and gets 6 seconds on him within 3 laps. Like, that's...
Yeah.
Oh, Crook's in again. Oh my god. Oh, what is going on?
I mean, at this point you might as well, right? You might as well. It's better to be on free... Does he have another... There's another pen, but no. Crook going for the 6 stopper.
I mean, look. It's definitely getting the, getting some screen time for those sponsors. Got to pay out those sponsors. If you're getting... These sponsors will be loving these.
Wow, do you want your business to be associated with a 6-stop strategy? And, you know, if you're Pirelli, you're like, mate. Well, actually, Pirelli wouldn't mind, but if you're, I don't know, World Wildlife Fund and old mates burning through tyres like there's no tomorrow. And he's absolutely gunning it to try to catch the back of the pack. So we're in the final sector.
Tyres will be warm, I guess.
They'll be warm, right?
There's that. You know, everyone else might be on slightly cooler tyres trying to warm them up.
Yeah.
At least he'll be right up to race pace and be ready to rumble. Only problem for him will be everyone else around him is on softs, basically.
The safety car's staying out. Crookie's got to pit again, surely.
Oh, I think that's the way, mate. He has to.
Yeah, chuck the inters on. Chuck the... Streamliner.
Speak of the devil, Dreamliner. 5 seconds... Oh, speeding.
And he's only on 3 lap hold soft.
He just got a speeding.
Yeah, I know.
17 seconds. I don't know what to say, mate.
Yep.
I don't know what to say.
I mean, yeah. I'm out. Anyway, so safety car carries on, honest Crook. Cool, back of the pack. He's only got 3 seconds of pen, so actually we've been talking smack, but I tell you what, the 6-stop strategy, I'm backing him for the top 10. I'm calling it now. I reckon he's going to make top 10.
Happen?
He's only got 3 seconds.
What? You're wrong, mate. I'm saying... I'm saying... not. I say he doesn't make that top 10.
I think he's easily going to make it. We'll see what happens. Second question is, who are you backing for the win?
Oh. Obviously Shockwave and Stoby.
Yeah, true, actually. It's Shockwave. It's his race to lose, I think. Yeah. Maybe on track, though, if you exclude the pens, do you still think it'll be Shockwave on track, or do you think Jackie might work his way through? He's got Broken Reptile behind him as well, who is no shrinking violet.
Look, and I believe I'm gonna back Shockwave here.
Okay, that's brave, but alright.
I'm backing Shockwave because he's on. Look, my thinking is he's on the medium tyre, Stoby's on the hards, and everyone else behind them, either on mediums or hards, have got pens, or anyone who's up there for the race win. So I'm backing Shockwave with Sam Lapple's tyres, just the softer of the 2 compounds, to bring it home with what will be a lap and a bit to go.
Okay.
As they go green.
We'll see what happens. Shockwave leads us away, gets a clean restart. There's a little gap on Stoby. We'll keep an eye on...
First man on the softs, he's already through on Toto.
He's already past Toto, wow, okay.
So watch out for Jackie, he should be moving up that leaderboard on track. Don't know about pens.
Worry about pens at the... Oh, Jackie's got another one. Well, Jackie's now definitely not winning the race, but he could win on track.
he'll go through them. Because look at that grip. He's just got... That's... so much more grip. But yeah, I'm back in Shockwave and I'm back in Crook. Sorry mate, if you can hear this, I don't think you're going to make top 10.
Wait and see. Jackie P6, top 5 remains as it were, as it was. Braden and Lauren, oh goodness me. Braden off track. Tries to go down the inside of a Lauren. Lauren covers the inside, but that's going to compromise them a little bit on the exit, but not too much. As the karaoke master returns to the background of Arthur's apartment. We'll wait and see if she brings any songs for us tonight.
No tunes.
No tunes.
Strict instruction from the manager, no tunes.
What if some of us want tunes?
Got to pay those royalty fees, mate. You can't afford it.
Someone in the chat seems to quite enjoy the tune, so I'm just saying, Jackie press up to B5. It's working through, but it's... Oh, hang on, it's the final lap. How'd that happen?
Final lap. Mate, safety car was out for a good 3 and a bit laps. That's how it happened.
Nothing gets past me as Jackie gets dirty ragged. Tell you what, Stovey's in touch with Shockwave. I've sort of not kept tabs on this, but Stovey's on the hard tyres, which will be in a better state of wear. Shockwave, what's the ERS situation? Pretty low for Stovey. Shockwave's using the last of those as you'd expect.
That's the same.
Penalty situation. So Broken Reptile could be on for the podium here. He's looking good. Altonki and Toto on for the top 5. Honest Crook has completely betrayed my expectations. He's going to struggle to finish in the top 12.
Jack Perez wants to pass the lead on track here.
Oh no. Oh, he thought about it. He'll go for a dive bomb. Watch this.
Have a dive. No.
Oh no.
Better run out of the final corner. Come on, get him on track. There you go.
He'll get him.
Easy.
But Shockwave comes across the line and wins the French Grand Prix. Dominating performance from the Red Bull man. Stovey comes across P2 and Broken Reptile indeed.
Here come the pens, sorting him out.
Without the pens, finishes P3. Goodwill up in P4, delayed P5, so great recovery drive from him. And yeah, those pens wreak some absolute havoc. Donkey driver of the day, the man who has the highest average position gain.
It's almost like he likes the challenge, you know. Just
I think he does. Yep, he's
not worry about quali and just come to the field during the race.
He's got kickbuttkiwi syndrome from previous seasons where he doesn't qualify well, but yeah, comes through in the races. But Shockwave is our race winner. Quite an attractive Sheila, I've got to say, if you don't mind Shockwave.
Whoa.
I'm just saying.
He's up, Turbo.
I'm just saying.
Up.
Yeah, so full points for Shockwave and Goodwill in P4, so Red Bull with an excellent day's work. Altonki came through from P18, credit to him, and Toto as well from P19 to P7. Respect to all the guys with no pens, quite a number of them in the top 9. Alora in P8, Clarence P9 after those internet issues, and Jackie all the way down in P10. I wonder if any of those pens could get removed, but he got fastest lap, but gee whiz, he accumulated pens like there's no tomorrow. Braden P11, couldn't follow up his podium from last week. Asher P12, Honest Crook, 6-stopper, unlucky mate, P13.
Didn't quite work out on that 6-stopper.
Didn't quite work out, maybe one stop too many, the 5-stopper would have been the way to go. And then down the order, Dan the Racer, bench warmer, and then you're really getting into some big pens here.
Streamliner going for the world record.
Yep, Dreamliner with the penalty world record.
He had a shocker.
He did, indeed. Yeah, so there we go, boys and girls. We'll try and get some post-race interviews going. You fancy sticking around for that, Arthur?
Bring it on, mate.
Yep, alright. So I will try to grab a few of these boys before they do run away. Stand by while I try to add them. As Arthur's girlfriend gets eaten by a cat. Or something similar.
No comment.
How do I do this? Parties. Add people. Right, so podium getters were Shockwave, Stoby, and Broken Reptile. Right, is anyone going to be rude and ignore the commentators? Oh, there we go. Shockwave, welcome to the chat. Hopefully you've got your audio settings right. Congrats on the win, man. You must be feeling pretty good about that result.
Hopefully everyone can hear me. It was a good win considering what happened last week with me and Jack Prez and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Reptile as well. What happened last week?
Safety car incident, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw what happened, but basically the safety car came out exactly when we, were coming across the pit exit, and it said I had illegally overtook the safety car, and I only had 2 seconds to give the position back. So then I got DQ'd, and I'm assuming it happened to the other two as well, but not Future Dreamliner. So that was a bit weird, but it happens.
It does indeed, and we said at the start of the stream that you would have been pretty keen to kind of bounce back from that as best as you could, and to get the win, and also for Jackie and Dreamliner to finish well down the order. That's pretty good for your championship chances, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the key focus for me was limiting my penalties, which kind of cost me in the first few races, especially Portugal and China. So I was focusing on that, and then the decision not to pit. Unfortunate for Jack Prez because he also had how many seconds worth? 8? I can't remember exactly, but
maybe
that
more.
He had 9 seconds.
9 seconds,
Jackie,
yeah. So that pushed him from 4th or 5th down to 10th. So yeah, a bit unfortunate, but yeah, good race.
Yeah, I mean, mate, you pretty much led the field from, I believe, your pole, weren't you, from quali?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
from pretty much from start to finish. Who were you sort of looking at as your biggest sort of rivals for this race?
I'm always looking at Jack Prez, Future Dreamliner, and Reptile, just because those are the 3 up there in the championship. I think before last race we were all within 5 points or so.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking out for those 4, but Reptile I think qualified down the order a bit, so I thought maybe this might have been a track he might have struggled at, but he ended up coming and pulling through, getting somewhere in the top 5, I think. So that was good from him.
Yeah. It's very, very well driven, mate. From as I said before, from pole to the win. Congratulations on the win, mate, and hopefully it sort of sets you up to be back in the title fight after last week.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, well done, mate. Sweet. I think we've also got Broken Reptile in the party. Can you hear us, Broken Reptile? We certainly can. Congratulations on the that was P3 for you, I believe. Yeah. Great result for you. You were another one of the guys who managed to avoid penalties
Stayed out of trouble,
and that sort of jumped you up at the end, which is always a good feeling. Can you talk us through your race? I believe it might have been a little bit sort of up and down for a while there. from what I recall. Yep. No, you did.
Yeah. And in terms of that late safety car, obviously you had most of the field that did come in. Were you sort of, looking to see what everyone else around you did, or did you pretty much had a plan to say, you weren't going to pit from, depending on what happened? Oh, yeah, no, well done, mate. Well done.
Yeah. Right. Cheers, mate. Appreciate you joining the party, and yeah, obviously good for your championship chances as well. So, yeah, have a good one, and all the best going forward. Sweet as. All right. Last but not least, did we manage to get old Stobby in the party? I don't know if we did. I might not have even added him. We'll
don't believe so. No.
Sort that out one
not
second.
Yet, anyway.
Stobby. Yeah, we appreciate people joining for a chat. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's good to sort of hear people's perspective about what happened during the race. We obviously see it from the comm box, but it's good to hear. Oh, there he is. Speak of the devil, how you going? Yeah, good. Congrats on the P2. I believe you were one of the guys who hung it out on used tyres at the end, so credit where it's due for that decision. Can you talk us through your race? Oh, beautiful. Yeah, no, excellent performance from you. We did notice in the stream that the safety car came out, the first one, and there were a few guys who were due to pit, and we mentioned that, it was very, very fortuitous because it allows you a much cheaper pit stop, and you can stay up the order. So that was pretty pleasing for you. Were you struggling towards the end of the race on those used tyres, or did you feel reasonably comfortable holding position? Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, well done. That's a great result for you, and hopefully you can sort of carry it on in future races. Arthur, do you have any further questions for Stobie?
Yeah, no, I was just looking through what the strategy was. So was the plan all along to go for the one stopper? I believe you one stopped this race, was that correct? Worked out, mate. It doesn't have to be clean, just have to work. So, nah. That's it. Well, yeah, congratulations, mate. I believe that was your best result for the season thus far. So, congrats on the podium, and hopefully on to bigger and better things going forward. Yeah.
Yeah. No, well done, man, and thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it. Okay, catch you later. Alrighty. Now, I have just had a final thought of a guest appearance in the party. If you'd just like to stand by. I do want to ask this particular driver a question or two.
Drum roll, please.
I'm sure you can't
Honest crook.
guess who it'll be. Just around the 6-stop strategy. Yeah, I'd like to know sort of the reasoning behind that, and yeah, maybe try to tap into the genius behind that decision. We'll see if he joins. He might be out having a
chimney
dart.
impression.
Yeah,
Having a dart after the race.
well-earned dart after a P15 and 6 stops. I'll give him 10-20 seconds. But yeah, no, entertaining race, I'd call that. There was plenty going on. As usual, not everything was, sort of what you'd normally expect to see in a league race, but this is Tier 2, and France is a track where there's opportunities to get creative with track limits, and creative with the rules of the sport, and creative with pit stop strategy. So we've seen some interesting things today, but yeah, it's part of what makes it entertaining, and hopefully you guys have all enjoyed tuning in. Hopefully we haven't talked too much smack about people. It's all in good.
It's all just a bit of fun, eh?
It's all just a bit of fun, really. Yeah, exactly.
A bit of fun. But yeah, no, it's quite a few movers today. Obviously, apart from the race winner, Shockwave, who led pretty much from pole. You've got, Stoby came from P15 to get P2. Reptile was in 6th, 3rd. A few other guys, outside of the top 10 who made it to, I could see Delayed there, got 5th from 10th. Tonki, we said keep an eye on him. He came from 18th to 6th. Toto from 19th to 7th.
Yeah.
Alorum, and then some of the guys that were at the top, who unfortunately, whether it be penalties or incidents or what have you, they sort of made it, made their way backwards towards the end there, on the fringe of the top 10. So there was quite a few movement in terms of positions, which is always good to have, because it always makes it a bit more fun to, be commentating.
Indeed.
Yeah. But yeah, it was quite fun. Quite fun indeed.
It was. Looks like Honest Crook is not going to join us.
No, he's having a few darts after that. 6 stops.
I suspect he is. So, yep, no, that's all right. But it's been fun as usual. Cheers, Ardie, for joining, and for everyone hopping along for round 5. Round 6, where are we next week?
Round 6, I believe, is in Belgium. Spa-Francorchamps.
Spa-Francorchamps. Awesome. Well,
that should be another good one.
It's a good drivers circuit, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, until next time, everybody, we'll leave it there, and take care of yourselves, and see you in 7 days' time.
Have a good one. So gossip guy.
Catch you later.